Welcome to the For Good podcast, where we talk about four good things happening in the world to bring a little positivity into your weekend. My name is Addison.
And I'm Corinne. For Good is proudly brought to you by Hope for Good, a free subscription service supporting families of children with cancer and other critical illnesses through monthly care packages filled with toys catered to the children's likings. Listen all the way through to hear how you can join our giveaway and help spread some joy. First episode! Yay!
We're super excited.
We are super excited.
First episode of the For Good podcast, and we are so excited. There's a lot going on in the world, so to get to hang out once a week and just talk about all the good things that we find on the internet and in our lives is just super exciting. What's one good thing that happened to you this week, Corinne?
My car is not in the best shape. Last week, my battery died at work, so someone had to jump start it. And when they jump started it, my radio stopped working. So I've been driving in silence because I'm too scared to go to AutoZone by myself. But I finally got the courage this week to go to AutoZone, and the guys were really nice, and it was a really easy fix, like $5.
So and now you don't have to drive with just your thoughts.
She's fixed and she's ready to go. Yeah.
Awesome.
What's a good thing that happened to you this week?
I had a really nice dinner date with all of my family here in town. We went to Hometown Roots. It's a really good restaurant. There's a record store down the street, so we stopped in and got a few new records for our collection, which always makes me really happy. So it was overall just a really good night.
What'd you get to eat?
They have Kentucky Fried Tofu, which I am a vegetarian, so it's really awesome to go to places that have kind of new things that I can try, and it was really good.
Good.
We'll jump right in to our first story. Some encouraging healthcare news. A Bangladeshi pharmaceutical company is soon releasing an affordable generic version of a life-saving drug for those living with cystic fibrosis. The only option right now is $300,000 a year. And the new option to be released this May will only be $6,700 a year for adults.
Awesome.
And $2,000 for children. I love that they lowered it for children because that's awesome.
Yeah.
For families who need to get that treatment.
Yeah.
The price drop brings hope to families who have long struggled with the cost of treatment. For the first time, more children and adults with cystic fibrosis will be able to get consistent treatment that can help them live longer and healthier lives. A mom interviewed by The Guardian celebrated when she calculated the cost, shocked that she could finally afford treatment for her son with the disease. And I did read somewhere that because of these new life-saving drugs, cystic fibrosis is not considered a critical illness anymore.
Really?
Which is really awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, we'll jump right into the next one. And this is good news from Australia. So there's been a deadly fungus going around Australia killing frogs. It's called chytrid. And this disease has led to the extinction of 90 amphibian species. Wow. And it has infected 500 more. But now the good news is scientists are helping these frogs by building tiny frog saunas. And these are made from sun-warmed bricks. It's like little mini houses that the frogs can go in, and the sun heats them up, and then it heals them from this disease. And so these frog saunas are low cost, effective, and they've already helped these endangered green and golden bell frogs to survive, and it even builds resistance to future infections. Sometimes a little warmth can make a big difference.
Man, I wish I was a frog in a tiny frog sauna. Maybe that would solve all my problems.
Oh, I'm glad these scientists are helping them. I didn't even know that these frogs were like endangered and being killed, so I'm really glad they're getting the little help they need, these poor little frogs.
On to my personal favorite story of the day. In a small town outside Dallas, a 70-year-old woman named Robin used $150,000 from her retirement savings to create an all-woman tiny home neighborhood called the Bird's Nest. Robin bought 5 acres of land and developed it into a welcoming place where women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s can live affordably and support one another. With rent starting at only $450 a month, it is not just about low cost, it's about belonging. Residents share meals, help others when they are sick, pet sit for each other, and spend evenings hanging around the property. What started as a simple idea turned into a thriving community. There are now 11 women living there and hundreds more waiting for a spot, showing how deeply people want this kind of idea. The bird's nest sounds like a dream come true to so many people as they age, living in the comfort of their own space, but also surrounded by company to love and support each other. I would love to be surrounded by 70 and 80-year-old women, like gardening,
Yeah,
knitting,
the bird's
like
nest.
gossiping.
That's so cute.
I hope that this just spreads like wildfire. I hope that people all over
Yeah,
can start
this is in
developing
Dallas.
things like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
a small town outside Dallas. Oh, I love that. What a dream come true. I love that story. Good story, Addison.
Thanks.
So, my next story is from Canada, and it's about an 18-year-old engineering student who saw the growing homeless crisis, and he decided to actually do something about it. So what he did, he designed a modular tiny home, and he's using like strong and affordable material, and it can be put together in just one day. But what makes this extra inspiring is in May 2026, so May of this year, he plans to live in one of these homes to make sure that it's good for all seasons, it's good to go before they mass produce it. But he doesn't see this as a long-term solution. He really just wants this as like a temporary solution to help people going through homelessness and kind of as like a transitional period for them to get them off the streets. And he's already taking the tiny homes to housing agencies to get things started. So
It seems there's like a theme in a lot of the stories today that how one idea can turn into something
yeah, like
that
one
benefits
person. Yeah.
so many people. Actually, my next story is kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, After losing his friend Kevin on 9/11, David Sylvester set out on an extraordinary journey to cope with his grief. 9 months after the towers fell, David got on a bike and honored his friend's life by pedaling 4,200 miles from Astoria, Oregon to Kevin's childhood home in Philadelphia. David met many people through his journey that were also struggling, including a man who recently lost his father and a high school student who was facing homelessness. Years later, he still remains in contact with many of the people he met on his journey, and they frequently remind him that his kindness and his hugs have helped them in their own lives. In the last 25 years, David has traveled through 42 countries in all 50 states, hugging people along the way and collecting what became more than 1 million hugs.
Wow.
Each of these hugs was a moment of shared humanity, a reminder that people everywhere are longing to connect, be heard, and feel less alone. Through these encounters, David discovered that while grief doesn't disappear, being present with others and building genuine connections can help heal hearts, both his own and those he met on the road.
David, I love that story. I think that's my favorite story out of all of them.
It's just really awesome, kind of what can come out of problem solving, what can
Yeah.
come out of the ideas you build. You should never be afraid to act on these ideas because it can change so much.
Yeah. And the way he was coping with his grief of losing his friend and then he turned it into something so positive. That's really sweet. Thank you, David. I love that story. I guess my story kind of goes into that too, or kind of follows that pretty well. My next story comes from Lakeland, Florida, a gentleman named William Dunn, and he turned his love of fishing into a very powerful way to support kids growing up without father figures in their lives. So, this all started about 12 years ago when William was outside and he noticed his 6-year-old neighbor, his name is Cameron. He was very upset, just outside yelling at his mom and stuff. And so, a few days later, William went over to the house and was just talking to Cameron. And Cameron brought up that he doesn't have a father figure in his life. So William was then like thinking, he was like, how can I help this boy? Like, what did I used to love to do when I was a young boy? So William remembered he used to love to go fishing when he was really young. So then William asked Cameron's mother. She said yes. He took him out fishing on the boat. They were giggling, having a good time. William was teaching Cameron some life lessons. And as the months went on, Cameron started doing better in school. He started having a better attitude. And Cameron was telling all of his friends about this, and William started taking Cameron's friends too. So, this one boy and William, it started an entire nonprofit. It's called Take a Kid Fishing. And every single weekend, William still does it. And a group of volunteers, they take a big group of kids out on the boat and they go fishing and they teach life lessons and patience and teamwork. And over the years, they've taken nearly 2,000 kids on more than 600 fishing trips. And such as Cameron and William, William makes lots of bonds with these kids. And a lot of them have grown up and they still go fishing with William. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I really love that story. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love to go fishing. So
Me too. Some
Yeah.
of like the best memories I have is fishing with my family.
yeah,
So I think it's really cool, especially because, you know, there's so many kids that don't get to have those experiences.
yeah. And I feel like just like being out in nature, it can really calm the soul
Yeah.
and make you happy.
That's right. That's a good good thought. My last story of the day, led by Governor Katie Hobbs, the state of Arizona partnered with a nonprofit called Undo Medical Debt to buy and forgive $640 million in medical bills for 500,000 Arizona residents.
Wow.
State leaders say the goal is to improve financial stability and health concerns in the state. Families did not have to apply, sign up, or reach out in any way. They will just be getting letters in the mail this week to let them know that this debt that's been hanging over their head is gone, which I think is really awesome. It's like one of those things that only happens in the dreams and the movies where you get the letter in the mail that your life has been changed.
Yeah.
So go Katie Hobbs.
Yeah, the
and
stress
go
that'll
undo
take off
medical
these
debts.
families. That is awesome.
Hopefully more states follow suit because that would be awesome.
I agree. Okay, my last story. Let's do this. In Virginia, a high school auto tech class aren't just learning how to fix cars, they're changing lives. They partner with nonprofits that are local to them. They're called Giving Words and Cotter Myers Automotive. And the students will take these donated vehicles that those nonprofits give to them and they fully refurbish them, make them able to drive, good to go. They like redo the outside to make sure they look really nice. And then they surprise local single parents who need reliable transportation for their kids. And we'll clip the videos over this, but the reactions from the single moms are so sweet. And the fact that it's a surprise and like the moms, it's mainly moms, they don't know what's happening and they're just crying and they're hugging everyone. It's really sweet. But I know one of the moms, she was really thankful because I think it was her son. He wanted to be in all these sports and all these clubs, but she didn't have a way to get him there. So the fact that these high school kids would do that for her and give her a completely free car that they did themselves, like their hard work, she was really, really grateful. So a little teamwork and kindness goes a long way.
That's awesome. I actually saw a Facebook post this week from a mom here in our community. Her husband had just passed away in a car accident, and that was the only car they had. They only had liability insurance, and she was looking for a car for the same reasons to try to keep a sense of normalcy in her kids' lives. And I just really hope that the same miracle that program provides, someone can do that for her.
Yeah.
Finally, the best thing is that through our program, Hope for Good, over 250 children with critical illnesses will receive a free care package this month to spread a bit of love to families going through so much. To learn more or to donate, visit our website at forgoodcommunity.org/hopeforgood.
Those were this week's 4 good things. Until next time, keep looking for the good. And if you find any, you can email Addison. Her email is addison@forgoodcommunity.org. And we'll share those good things on the podcast next week.
If you're subscribed, drop a comment with something good that happened to you this week to enter our giveaway. And pass that good on by sharing it with someone who could use it.
Join us next week to see how the world gets better 1 week at a time.
For Good the podcast.
Because the world has more good than we think. Woo! And scene!
Toss the left.
Get this off.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
Oh God, I'm going to hate myself. I already know it.